हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू अर्पिता की एनसीईआरटी कक्षा। आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है इस एनसीईआरटी लेक्चर में। दिस इज क्लास 12th एनसीईआरटी चैप्टर नंबर 2 एरा ऑफ वन पार्टी डोमिनेंस दैट वी आर स्टडिंग टुडे. So I welcome you all to this lecture. I hope you are ready with your notes register to take down the notes and to understand in detail what was the chapter all about. The concepts like political parties, coalitions, the rise of one party dominance, the pros and cons of one party dominance, the pros and cons of having an opposition, all of that we are going to study in this particular lecture. I hope you all are ready. This lecture is dedicated to mains GS paper 2 and your prelims paper. तो ये lecture आपका GS paper 2 और prelims से related है, and there were two questions which were asked in 2017 and 2019 from this very chapter in the prelims examination. तो आपके प्रीलिम्स के एग्जामिनेशन में ना इस चैप्टर से 2017 और 19 में डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस आए हैं. Let's get started. Now, when we start this lecture, the first thing I want to ask you is, what do you understand by the term political party? जब आपसे पूछा जाता है या आप पढ़ते हो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के बारे में, हैव यू एवर वंडर्ड व्हाट आर दीज पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज? हाउ कैन यू एक्सप्लेन अबाउट दीज पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज टू अ लेमैन? मान लो एक ऐसा इंसान है जिसने कभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज वगैरह के बारे में डिस्कशन की नहीं, बस सुना सुनाया है, कोई रूरल एरिया से आया है जिसको पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज का इतना नॉलेज नहीं है. हाउ विल यू एक्सप्लेन दैट पर्सन? सो बेसिकली पॉलिटिकल पार्टी इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल. ओके, आप बोल सकते हो इन लेमैन्स टर्म, इट इज ए ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल. एक लोगों का समूह है. ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल मीन्स समूह. ओके, प्लीज राइट इट डाउन. ठीक है, तो ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल का मतलब यहाँ पर क्या हो जाता है? इसका मतलब हो जाता है समूह. ऑलराइट. ओके, so group of people who come together to coordinate, and to compete. डबल सीज आ जाएंगे. And to compete, to coordinate and to compete in a particular country's elections. तो एक समूह लोगों का जो एक साथ आता है, कोऑर्डिनेट करके फाइट करता है इलेक्शंस, compete करता है इलेक्शंस में, उसको हम पॉलिटिकल पार्टी बोलते हैं. एंड इट इज कॉमन फॉर द मेंबर्स ऑफ अ पार्टी टू होल्ड सेम काइंड ऑफ आइडियाज रिगार्डिंग पॉलिटिक्स, promoting the welfare of people, policy goals, etc. Okay, that is, the reason why the political parties can stay together and also form a majority in the particular nation during the elections. All right, तो यहाँ पर political parties must have coordinated ideas, same kind of ideological thinking. Only then they will be in a position to compete together in unity. That is the meaning of political party. Now another important term that they can ask you is, what exactly is a coalition? Coalition का मतलब क्या होता है? So coalition is a kind of a temporary alliance. When a particular party fails to obtain majority in the house to form the government, it becomes a coalition. It forms a coalition with other regional parties. So it's a kind of temporary alliance for combined action, especially the of the political parties who are trying to form a government. Okay, that is the meaning of coalition. Or you can say coalition also means a group which is formed of different people, different organizations which come together for a temporary purpose, for a temporary time period, okay, to achieve something that is common. That is the meaning of coalition. Now when we talk about the era of one party dominance, we also understand about different periods where we saw one party rising to the height and then falling of that party and then coming up of regional parties, small regional parties. We are going to study all of that in a timeline. So 1952 to 64 is considered as the Nehruvian era. Why? Because Congress party was at the top during this era. Congress party was dominant in the Indian democracy, and hence the Indian democracy was basically dealing with the one party system, that is the Congress system. The small parties, however, they were competing, but they were known as at that time pressure groups. ओके, उस टाइम पर जो स्मॉल पार्टीज compete किया करती थी उनको प्रेशर ग्रुप्स कहा जाता था. Why? Because only one party was dominating that time, and through that party we were also having a sense of nationhood. हम उस पार्टी से, कांग्रेस पार्टी के थ्रू ही अपने अपने आप के अंदर, अपने खुद के अंदर एक नेशनल यूनिटी फील करते थे. बिकॉज कांग्रेस पार्टी वॉज there when even we didn't achieve independence, right? We were fighting against the Britishers, तब से कांग्रेस पार्टी थी. तो इसलिए we had a sense of attachment and a sense of feeling of nationalism attached with the Congress party, and that is why that period was known as the one party system. और वन पार्टी डोमिनेंस एरा. नाउ व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर प्रेशर ग्रुप्स? ये प्रेशर ग्रुप्स क्या होते हैं? प्लीज राइट इट डाउन. So pressure groups are a group of people who are basically another name of pressure groups is, write it down, vested group. ठीक है, एक और नाम होता है प्रेशर ग्रुप का, वेस्टेड ग्रुप. सो दीज आर ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल हु आर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड एक्टिवली फॉर प्रमोटिंग एंड डिफेंडिंग देयर ओन कॉमन इंटरेस्ट. That is why it is known as pressure group. And sometimes the common interest of the group, the pressure groups is also public policy. They exert pressure on the government. That is why they are known as pressure group. Government के ऊपर ना pressure exert करते हैं to think about the welfare of the people, to pass on or to bring a change in the public policy. That is why it is known as a pressure group. It is also known as interest group. Okay, they are different from the political parties. Why? Because they do not contest elections. The pressure groups पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से डिफरेंट क्यों होते हैं? क्योंकि ये इलेक्शंस कंटेस्ट नहीं करते हैं. ये पॉइंट आपको याद रखना है. दे डू नॉट ट्राई टू कैप्चर पावर. नो, दे जस्ट वांट द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे ट्राई टू कन्विंस द गवर्नमेंट एंड प्रेशर द गवर्नमेंट फॉर पासिंग मोर पॉलिसीज फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ पीपल. ओके, सो यू कैन से प्रेशर ग्रुप्स बेसिकली इन्फ्लुएंस द पॉलिसी मेकिंग एंड पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. राइट इट डाउन. Pressure groups, they influence. There is a separate chapter in M. Lakshmikant on pressure groups. Okay, so this is very important for GS paper 2 mains. So they influence, write it down, they influence the government in policy making and policy implementation All right, these are two important points associated with pressure groups. Now another important point for pressure groups here is, now there are different techniques used by the pressure group. Okay, so here these are different techniques used by the pressure groups basically to resort pressure on the government for the public welfare. First is electioneering. What do you mean by electioneering? It means placing in the public office those persons who favor the motives of the pressure group. जितने भी आपके public offices हैं वहां पर अपना कोई ऐसा बंदा बिठा देना या ऐसे बंदे को वहां पर पहुंचा देना जो कि उनके मोटिव्स को क्या करता हो, सपोर्ट करता हो, ताकि पब्लिक ऑफिस के थ्रू वो गवर्नमेंट पर प्रेशर बना सके. सो दैट थ्रू पब्लिक ऑफिस दैट पर्सन हु इज प्लेस्ड बाय प्रेशर ग्रुप्स इन दैट पब्लिक ऑफिस कैन exert pressure on the government and can promote the aims of pressure group. That is first technique. Second technique is known as lobbying. ठीक है, सेकेंड टेक्निक क्या हो जाता है? लॉबिंग हो जाता है. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय लॉबिंग? It is persuading public officers, whether they are initially favorably disposed toward them or not, to adopt and enforce the policies that they think will be most beneficial. So here they will use persuasion power on what? On what kind of people? On the public officers. Public officers को persuade करेंगे. They will try to convince the public officers, persuade the public officer to basically enforce those policies that the pressure groups think is good for the welfare of the citizens. And third is propagandizing. It means influencing, write it down, it means influencing public opinion. पब्लिक ओपिनियन को इन्फ्लुएंस करना. इट कैन बी थ्रू सोशल मीडिया ऑल्सो, इट कैन बी थ्रू मीडिया ऑल्सो, इट कैन बी थ्रू रिटन मीडिया आउटलेट्स एंड चैनल्स एज वेल. ठीक है, so they will try to influence your opinion. They will try to make you understand their aims, how their aims are for your welfare, etc. through different means. That is propagandizing. That means एक propaganda लेकर वो एक particular अपनी image सामने रख रहे हैं या अपने आप को सामने present कर रहे हैं. Alright, so these are the three techniques used by pressure groups that you need to remember for your mains examination. Now I hope you have written them down. Okay, ठीक है, यहाँ तक पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया. नाउ कम्स द पीरियड ऑफ 1964 to 77 which was a period of very uneasy, very troublesome transition because now the one party system was falling down. Okay, and regional parties were coming up. So here after the death of Jawaharlal Nehru and after the 1967 elections, there was a huge challenge to the Congress system. Why? Because Congress had failed to secure majority votes in 8 states in the Lok Sabha election. And we saw in the same time period, we saw that the Congress was failing and the regional parties were rising now. Now there were no pressure groups. Now the regional parties were rising as parties eligible to stand or fight in the elections. अब ये elections के लिए eligible parties बन रही थी जो कि election process में, voting process में आपकी खड़ी हो रही थी. Congress's performance was also going down. There was a power struggle after Jawaharlal Nehru ji died. There was a power struggle in the Congress party as well. Okay, and the Congress party was split in 1969, and Indira Gandhi's supremacy was established both in the party also, in the government also. We also got our first female prime minister at that time, right? Some leaders like Morarji Desai in Gujarat and Jayaprakash Narayan in Bihar carried out a very successful movement against Congress corruption and arbitrary rule. So basically these charges against the corruption also were one of the reasons why the one party dominance was going down. Regional parties khadi ho rahi thi, and through regional parties basically it was seen, or it was felt that even other people in our nation can have that political, you can say, knowledge, know-how, eligibility. Okay, they also had the fire to lead the nation. तो यहाँ पर आप देखोगे कि पॉलिटिक्स में भी ना एक मेरिट सिस्टम आ गया कि भाई अपनी काबिलियत के बेसिस पे आप कंट्री के लिए लड़ सकते हो, कंट्री के लिए खड़े हो सकते हो, कंट्री की वेलफेयर के बारे में सोच सकते हो. इट इज नॉट द वर्क ऑफ कांग्रेस पार्टी ओनली टू थिंक अबाउट द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल. एवरीबडी हु इज केपेबल, who has the fire to stand for the nation can do so through politics, through elections. Okay, and plus there when there is dominance of one particular system, yes, there are cons also. ठीक है, जहां पर dominance आ जाता है ना, where there is dominance there are negativities also, there are negative points also. Here the negative points were rise in the corruption during the Congress rule, and those charges were used by other regional parties to stand against the Congress party. That is why the performance of Congress party was also falling down. Okay, point clear हो गया यहाँ तक सभी को. And we saw during 1975 the movement against Congress party was rising so much that Indira Gandhi, for the first and only time in Indian history, decided to impose internal emergency also, that too very haphazardly. कोई ऐसा planned emergency नहीं थी, बहुत ही जल्दबाजी में लिया हुआ decision था, जिससे इकोनॉमी भी इम्पैक्ट हुई थी, सोसाइटी भी इम्पैक्ट हुई थी negatively. Okay, there were so many riots and so many chaos, so much chaos in the nation. Then comes the period of 1977 to 80. Now here this period sees basically new consensus forming and increasing inter-party conflict. Now there were different parties which were coming up. So in between the parties there were conflicts which were going on, because see, all of us, we have different opinions towards life. Okay, some people, they like to live life very smoothly, very easy, in a very simple manner, decent manner. Some people, they love to enjoy life through parties, through functions, etc. Right? So all of us have different opinions and ideologies to live life. Same thing applies to the parties. Okay, and when so many parties were coming up, there were different ideological opinions and different issues which were coming up, basically, which were the reason why there were so many inter party conflicts rising up. तो यहाँ पर हम देखते हैं the Janata Party. This is the Janata Party, and question on Janata Party was asked in the preliminary examination also. So this is important. Janata Party was a new coalition party. I have explained to you what is the meaning of coalition party, and it was established in 1977. Now let us solve this question. Which of the following parties formed the Janata Alliance? ठीक है, इसमें से कौन सी पार्टी है जिससे मिलकर, बिकॉज इट वॉज अ कोalition पार्टी ना, कोalition पार्टी थी ये. तो विच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग पार्टीज फॉर्म्ड द जनता पार्टी अलायंस? स्वतंत्र पार्टी, भारतीय जनसंघ, सोशलिस्ट पार्टी, डी इज ऑल ऑफ देम अबव. तो करेक्ट आंसर इज डी. ये सारी पार्टीज ने मिलकर कोalition पार्टी बनाई थी, एंड दिस कोalition पार्टी वाज नोन एज द जनता पार्टी अलायंस. ओके, फॉर्म्ड इन 1977. इट्स मेंशन्ड ओवर हियर आल्सो, पीडीएफ में मेंशन है, डोंट वरी. Now let's move forward. The question here is, which can be asked in GS paper 2, how was Janata Party not different from Congress in its policies? जनता पार्टी आपकी पहली कोalition पार्टी थी, कांग्रेस से अलग कैसे नहीं थी, ये आपको बताना है. तो यहाँ पर आप देखोगे जनता पार्टी was formed in 1977 after the elections were announced post emergency by coming together of these three parties, स्वतंत्र, भारतीय जनसंघ and socialist party. And they, like Congress party, frequently invoked article 356. president rule ना बार बार ले आते थे ये. Why? To topple the government in states. जहाँ पर जिन states में Congress was ruling ना, to create disturbance on those states, they used to invoke article 356. Okay, so basically this was also one of the reason why they were, they later on fell down. Plus, here you will see that despite huge promises, they could not address the fundamental issues of poverty, unemployment, inflation, fuel shortage, shortage of food. So this is, basically one point that links जनता पार्टी विद कांग्रेस. ओके, ये भी एक पॉइंट है जो जनता पार्टी को कांग्रेस जैसा ही बना देती है. ओके, उस टाइम पर जैसे कांग्रेस गिरी थी तो वो इसी रीजन के वजह से गिरी थी. एंड द इशू ऑफ कास्ट आल्सो वाज सेम, एज इन द कांग्रेस पार्टी, सेम वाज इन द जनता पार्टी. सो दीज आर द थ्री रीजंस व्हाई जनता पार्टी वाज नॉट वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम कांग्रेस पार्टी in its policies, and these were the basic reasons why Janata Party also fall down. Now next important question, which party government announced the formation of a second backward class commission in 1978? So here the correct answer would be Janata Party. Janata Party ने second backward class commission 1978 में establish किया था. ये point आपको याद रखना है. Now we will come down to the period of 1980 to 89. This was the period where we saw fight between Congress and regional parties. इस पीरियड में हमने कांग्रेस और रीजनल पार्टी के बीच में लड़ाई देखी. नाउ कांग्रेस पार्टी हैड ऑलरेडी फेल्ड अप, rising up, and it was fighting against the regional parties. And we saw during this fight, the economy suffered a lot, because during this fight the regional parties who were in power, they used to frivolously use article 356, as we saw in the case of Janata Party. Janata Party ने भी यही किया था. Okay, and regional parties were becoming more and more stronger, so that is why they were having more assertive role in the center politics. And because of this political fight, the citizens were suffering at that time. In 1984, during the Lok Sabha elections, we saw the Telugu Desam Party, which was the regional party of Andhra Pradesh, and it emerged as the main opposition party. In the comment section, you will let me know how, what is your opinion on the opposition parties. Are the opposition parties must in a democratic nation? Yes or no? Please let me know your views in the comment section. अपने views मुझे comment section में बताना कि क्या opposition party एक democratic nation में होनी जरूरी है या नहीं, and if it is important, why it is important. Now there are different, you can say pros and cons of having coalitions. Basically coalition के ना advantages भी हैं, disadvantages भी हैं. What are the disadvantages? That coalition parties basically can result policy paralysis, delay in decision making, because there are so many group of people in the coalition parties, and every group has different opinion, different ideological thinking, right, different viewpoint. That is why it can result into delay in decision making. It can obstruct the process of decision making and also conduct of decision implementation. चाहे decision making हो या decision implementation, दोनों में ही देरी हो सकती है coalition की वजह से. And what are the good sides of coalitions? It basically ensures electoral federalism. It ensures that regional parties fill a vacuum for protecting minorities. Okay, minorities, they get a voice through the regional parties. Okay, तो ये इसके good sides हैं और ये इसके bad sides हैं. So far we have studied about the political party, we have studied what is the meaning of coalitions, pressure groups, and we have studied how coalition governments, they started coming up. Now we will study different, opposition parties or different political parties that came up. Okay, so first is the Socialist Party. Now why we are studying all this? Because in prelims they can ask you the founder of Socialist Party, the aim of Socialist Party. Okay, and when was it established? कब ये establish हुई थी? ये तीन चीजें आपसे पूछी जा सकती हैं. That is why we are studying this particular topic. Now when we talk about Socialist Party, they can also ask you the difference between different parties that came up. Communist Party, Socialist Party, Congress Party, Socialist Party. What were the difference between these? They can ask you that as well. So इसलिए we have to prepare in advance. When we talk about Socialist Party, origins of Socialist Party can be traced back to the mass movement stage. So this is really important. यहाँ पर मैं ये रब करके आपको लिख कर दे देती हूँ. What you have to study? You have to study the founder, you have to study the aim, and then you have to study the year when it was established. Okay. So Socialist Party basically came from the mass movement stage of Indian National Congress. Okay, pre-independence, that is before independence time, the mass movement stage was going on. Indian National Congress was dominating. It was at the, you can say, forefront. Okay, and the Congress Socialist Party, that is the CSP, was formed. So initially आपके यहाँ पर Congress Socialist Party तैयार होती है 1934 में by a group of young leaders who wanted a more radical and egalitarian Congress. Now, what do you mean by the term egalitarian? Egalitarian का मतलब क्या होता है ये समझ लेते हैं यहाँ पर. Radical here means more logical and analytical. So, egalitarian means the belief of equality, that everybody is equal and everybody deserves equal rights and opportunities. That is egalitarian. Egalitarian basically it means a person who advocates or supports the principle of equality. Okay, so basically ये जो young leaders साथ आए 1934 में, they established this particular party. So their basic agenda at that time was to be more egalitarian, to promote their radical approach towards nation building, nation leading. Now, another important point here is that in year 1948, that is 1 year after we got independence, Congress amended its constitution. So every party has its own constitution and has its own you can say rules book. Okay, हर political party की ना अपनी खुद की एक rule book होती है. In the same way, Congress also had its own constitution. So the Congress amended its rules to prevent its members from having a dual party membership. That is, one member of Congress cannot have another membership of another political party. If you are a member of Congress, then you cannot take membership of any other party. And this forced the socialists to form a सेपरेट सोशलिस्ट पार्टी है 1948 और इसी वजह से सोशलिस्ट ने अपनी खुद की सेपरेट एक सोशलिस्ट पार्टी यहाँ पर स्टैब्लिश की 1948 के टाइम पीरियड में. ठीक है, तो फाउंडिंग ईयर मिल गया आपको इसका. ठीक है, पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया. एंड द पार्टीज इलेक्टोरल परफॉर्मेंस कॉस्ट डिसअपॉइंटमेंट टू इट्स सपोर्टर्स एज वेल. अब सोशलिस्ट पार्टी की जो इलेक्टोरल परफॉर्मेंस हुई उससे मेंबर्स को भी बुरा लगा, नहीं अच्छा लगा. ओके, बट सोशलिस्ट पार्टी द बेस्ट गुड थिंग अबाउट इट वाज दैट इट हैड प्रेजेंस इन ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द स्टेट्स ऑफ इंडिया. ओके, एंड वी नो दैट इफ देयर इज अ पार्टी इन पावर देयर शुड बी opposition parties as well. Why? Because see, the opposition parties helps us to keep a check on the dominating party, or else it would not become a democratic nation. It would be more like Hitler rule. Okay, अगर आप opposition parties को हटा दोगे तो एक तरीके से हिटलर गिरी करने लग गए ना. आपको कोई रोक ही नहीं सकता, आप जो चाहे बिल पास करो, जो चाहे एक्ट्स लो, पॉलिसीज बनाओ. Okay, so opposition parties basically make sure that the government is thinking about the welfare of the people. It is not benefiting itself only. Now here another important point यहाँ पर ये है आपका. So first important point over here is that Socialist Party was established in 1948 and the Congress Socialist Party was established in 1934. Okay, this is another part. कांग्रेस सोशलिस्ट पार्टी जो थी वो 1934 में स्टैब्लिश हुई थी. इसी का एक पार्ट निकल कर आया सोशलिस्ट पार्टी का, स्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1948. And do you know that in 1951 the Socialist Party only won around 12 seats in the Indian general election. 1951 में Socialist Party सिर्फ 12 सीट ही जीत पाई थी. And the electoral fortunes of Socialist Party did not improve. Okay, and that is why the Socialist Party, write it down, it merged with the किसान मजदूर प्रजा पार्टी, KMPP, किसान मजदूर प्रजा पार्टी. This is the spelling. This is Kisan. Then we have here Majdoor Praja Party. Okay. So because of its dismal performance in the elections, it merged with the KMPPP. Okay. Why? To improve its performance. Okay. Point clear. And Kisan Majdoor Praja Party was formed by JB Kripalani. Please write it down. This is important. KMPP जो है उसको किसने establish किया था? JB Kripalani sir ने. ठीक है, it was established by JB Kripalani sir. Okay, point clear. So this was the entire, you can say, performance of the Socialist Party. Now let us understand what were the aims of Socialist Party. अब इसके aim क्या थे? Socialists believed in the ideology of democratic socialism. Now what do you understand by the term socialism? ये democratic socialism का मतलब क्या होता है ये समझ लेते हैं आप. ठीक है, so democratic socialism means having a socialist economy in which, write it down, in which the means of production are socially and collectively owned or controlled. Point clear हो गया. तो यहाँ पर सोशलिस्ट पार्टी का एम था डेमोक्रेटिक सोशलिज्म, और डेमोक्रेटिक सोशलिज्म मीन्स वेयर मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इज सोशली एंड कलेक्टिवली ओन्ड और कंट्रोल्ड बाय द डेमोक्रेटिक पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. Point clear हो गया. Now another important point is that this ideal of democratic socialism basically distinguished the Socialist Party from the Congress as well as the Communist. So if they ask you in prelims what was the difference between Congress, Communist and Socialist Party, the difference was that the Socialist believed in the principle of democratic socialism. Then they can ask you what is the meaning of democratic socialism. Now you know the meaning also. ठीक है, यहाँ तक पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया आप लोगों को. वेरी गुड. एंड दे क्रिटिसाइज द कांग्रेस फॉर फेवरिंग कैपिटलिस्ट एंड लैंडलॉर्ड्स. ना उस टाइम पर कांग्रेस जो है लैंडलॉर्ड्स को कैपिटलिस्ट को काफी प्रमोट करते थे. एंड द ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज यूज्ड टू से दैट कांग्रेस इज इग्नोरिंग द नीड्स एंड द वेलफेयर ऑफ द वर्कर्स एंड द पेजेंट क्लास पीपल. सो दैट वाज द एजेंडा ऑफ सोशलिस्ट कि भैया हमें सबका विकास देखना है, यानी कि चाहे गरीब हो या अमीर, हमें सबको इक्वालिटी के साथ देखना है और इक्वालिटी के साथ ही आगे लेकर चलना है. And there were many splits and reunions amongst the Socialist Party as well. Okay, and we saw the merging of Socialist Party with KMPP. Okay, all right. तो यहाँ पर अब हम second party देखते हैं, which is the Communist Party of India. Now, in the Communist Party, the founder were M.N. Roy and Abani Mukherjee. It was established in the year 1925 in Kanpur. And there were two very famous newspapers of the Communist Party of India. In Hindi, it was Mukti Sangharsh, and there was an English newspaper also, New Age. Okay, so यहाँ पर we see that the Communist Party of India is the oldest communist party in India. All right, and there were initially 8 national parties in the country, and Communist Party was one of them. तो ये points आपको यहाँ पर याद रखने हैं Communist Party के बारे में. Then in the early 1920s, communist groups emerged. I told you 1925 में it was established. It was emerged in different parts of India. It was inspired by the Bolshevik revolution that took place in Russia, and they advocated socialism as the solution to problems affecting the country. So whatever economic or financial problems the country is going through, it can be solved through socialism. That is the solution of it. And right now, what do you mean by socialism? Now, socialism basically is an economic theory which advocates that the means of production, means of distribution and exchange should be owned and regulated by the community. Okay, that is socialism. वो आपका socialism हो जाता है. तो again, their agenda was also socialism. Now, after independence, the party thought that the transfer of power in 1947 from the Britishers to Indians, it was not true independence because we saw partition also. There were so large scale killings and violence and mass killings, etc. There were fights between the two communities, Hindus and Muslims. Even in Telangana's region, there were huge fights that took place, and that is why they believed that the partition or the transfer of power from Britishers to Indians, it was not done in a good way or in a true and fair manner. The communists failed to generate popular support for their position, and they were crushed by the armed forces over here. And because of this, they were forced to rethink their position. In 1951, Communist Party abandoned the path of violent revolution. They decided to participate in the approaching general elections, and the first general election, CPI, the Communist Party of India, won 16 seats, and it emerged as the largest opposition party. तो ये जो ऑपोजिशन पार्टी के रोल में आपकी कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी निकल कर आई थी, दिस वाज आल्सो अ वेरी गुड, यू कैन से, इंडिकेटर ऑफ द डेमोक्रेटिक हेल्थ ऑफ द नेशन एट दैट टाइम. Okay, then here you can see A.K. Gopalan sir, communist leader from Kerala. They can ask you about the personalities as well. Okay, and then we have S.A. Dange sir, EMS Namboodiripad, P.C. Joshi, Ajay Ghosh, P. Sundar Raya. They were among the very famous leaders of CPI. Okay, but in 1964 now, CPI basically split. CPI में भी division हो गया था. Okay, because there were ideological divisions in CPI. The opinions, the viewpoints did not match. Now, the next important party that we are going to study is the Bharatiya Jana Sangh. Very important party. यहाँ पर आप देखोगे, it was formed in the year 1951, and who was the founder or founding president of this party? It was, you must have heard about Shyama Prasad Mukherjee sir. तो Shyama Prasad Mukherjee sir जो थे, he was the founding president of this particular party. He was the founder of this party, established in 1951. Okay, and the history of this party can be traced back to RSS. RSS is Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh and Hindu Mahasabha. इंडिपेंडेंस से पहले ये जो दो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बनी थी, यहीं से, इन्हीं के रूट से निकल कर आई थी भारतीय जनसंघ. ओके, So this party existed from 1951 to 1977. It was, you can say, the political arm of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which is a Hindu nationalist volunteer organization. And it emphasized the idea of one country, one culture, and one nation, and believed that the country could become modern, progressive, and strong on the basis of Indian culture and traditions only. Okay. एंड इस पार्टी का ना एक ये भी कॉल था, एक स्लोगन था दैट इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान शुड रीयूनाइट. इंडिया और पाकिस्तान जो है वो वापस एक हो जाने चाहिए. सो देयर शुड बी द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ अखंड भारत. दैट वाज आल्सो द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ चाणक्य. हमने देखा था विष्णुगुप्त कौटिल्य जो थे उन्होंने भी अखंड भारत का कॉन्सेप्ट दिया था. सो द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट वाज बीइंग यूज्ड बाय भारतीय जनसंघ फॉर सेइंग दैट इंडिया पाकिस्तान शुड रीयूनाइट एंड ऑल दीज डिविजन्स आर लीडिंग टू वीकनेस, weakening the roots of our nation. We should not get divided among ourselves. हमें आपस में डिवीजन की बात नहीं करनी चाहिए, हमें एक हो जाना चाहिए ताकि हम और ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग हो सके. बट इन द ईयर 1980 द जन संघ पार्टी ब्रोक away, basically it resulted into a split. एक तरीके से split हो गया again due to ideological differences. तो इसमें भी आपका एक तरीके से division हो जाता है opinion based difference की वजह से. So here if somebody asks you what was the agenda or what was the ideology of Bharatiya Jan Sangh, so the first ideology of Bharatiya Jan Sangh was, write it down, Hindutva. Okay, it means integrating humanism, the Hindu traditions and culture. Another ideology of this party was Hindu nationalism. Please write it down, Hindu nationalism. Okay, and then we have the Swatantra Party. Swatantra Party was formed in August 1959. So 1959 में establish होता है after the Nagpur resolution of Congress was called. Okay, and here you can see that the party was led by C. Rajagopalachari, K.M. Munshi, N.G. Ranga and Mino Masani. They were the leaders of this party. And Swatantra Party wanted the government to be less and less involved in controlling the economy. Basically, they said that there should be individual freedom and government intervention or state intervention should be very minimal in the economy of the country. And the Swatantra Party was against the land ceilings in agriculture. It opposed the cooperative farming system, state trading. Basically, it opposed the government intervention in the functioning of the nation. मतलब एक minimal intervention government का हो और लोगों के पास, people should have individual freedom. Private sector should have individual freedom in running the nation. That was the ideology of the Swatantra Party. Okay, so the industrialist and business class people, okay, basically इनको support किया था इस पार्टी ने, स्वतंत्र पार्टी ने. Now let us understand the concept behind dominant party system. Dominant party system is also known as one party dominant system. Please write it down. इसको ना मैं यहाँ लिख देती हूँ. It is also known as one party dominant system. That is also another name of the dominant party system. ठीक है, पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया. सो इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ पॉलिटिकल अकरेंस इन विच अ सिंगल पॉलिटिकल पार्टी continuously dominates election results over running opposition groups or parties. मतलब continuously if one party is winning the elections, ठीक है, over the other opposition groups, that is the dominant party system. Right now in our country BJP is basically falling under this category. Continuously election में जो पार्टी dominantly जीत रही है, majority के साथ जीते जा रही है कांग्रेस के ऊपर या other parties के ऊपर, तो उसको हम dominant party system बोलते हैं. And dominant parties and their domination of a state develop out of one-sided electoral and party constellations within a multi-party system. तो यहाँ पर we see that when opposition loses its trust, right, in the eyes of the voters, in that case a dominant party system emerges. उस केस में dominant party system आपका निकल कर बाहर आता है. ये point आपको याद रहेगा. Okay. Now there is this question that comes up. Did the prevalence of one party dominant system affect adversely the democratic nature of Indian politics? Now this question is in relation with the point or the period when there was the era of Congress domination in the country just after independence. Independence के बाद there was a huge era in which we saw Congress domination. So basically they are asking the question, did the prevalence of one party dominant system during this period affect negatively the democratic nature of Indian politics? Now how will you answer this question? First of all, you will explain in the introduction, you will explain what is the meaning of the dominant party system. आप इसमें पहले बताओगे what is the dominant party system. You will open up the question. What is dominant party system? So in 3 to 4 lines, you will explain dominant party system. Then you will come to the body of the answer. Here you have to explain if the prevalence of one party dominant system negatively impacted the Indian politics and the democratic nature of our country. Now here the answer is no. It did not negatively impact the democratic nature. When we talk about the economy, because of the prevalence of corruption, etc., yes, our economy got impacted, but they are asking a question about democratic nature. Was the democratic nature of our Indian politics was impacted negatively? So here the answer is no. Why? Because the first point is that Congress at that time, I told you in the beginning of this lecture, that Congress at that time, just after independence, was like synonymous, write it down, it was like synonymous with the nation. We identified with the Congress party. Why? Because during the fight for independence, Congress, basically led, upfrontly led the fight against the Britishers. कांग्रेस के लीडर्स, कांग्रेस पार्टी हमारी पहली पॉलिटिकल पार्टी थी कंट्री की जो हमारे डिमांड्स को ब्रिटिशर्स के सामने रख रही थी. सो people had attached their emotions with this particular party, and Congress was synonymous to the nation. Okay, at that time. So it was like a movement that instilled a great amount of faith and hope in the people for freedom. This was the first reason. Second reason was why it was, why it did not, affect negatively the democratic nature of Indian politics. The second reason is that, basically India had a multi-party system. India had established a multi-party system after independence, which allowed for free and fair participation of all the political parties to fight in the elections. So, this was another reason why we cannot say that one party dominant system has negatively impacted democratic nature, because we had the multi-party system. Now, dominant party does not mean that one party is aggressively, dominating the other parties. No, it means that with people's consensus, one party is winning the elections continuously. How can it affect the democratic nature when more and more people are, voting that particular party only, when more and more people are entrusting their faith and belief in one particular party only? Okay, so that is the second reason. Third reason is that Congress was never accused of, rigging the elections or involving any of such kind of malpractices to win the elections. Okay, it was retaining its position very truly and in a very fair manner during that time. Fourth reason can be that Congress was famous as a very representative and accommodative party, because it had vast ideological and social opinion and ideas which reflected the ideas of our nation only. Because before independence it was fighting for the freedom of the nation. Before independence, Congress party had the support of the entire nation. Okay, so because of its accommodative nature, we can say that this was the reason why this party was becoming dominant initially. Okay, point clear हो गया यहाँ तक सभी को? Very good. Now the next reason is that the party comprised of various factions with different ideological positions. Okay, that influenced the Congress in its decision making. So we can say that Congress emerged as a party of consensus. It won as with full support of the people of the nation, and that is why it did not affect the democratic nature of Indian politics negatively. Understood? Point clear हो गया? Very good. So let's come on to the homework for today. Question 1 is same. Did the prevalence of one party dominant system affect adversely the democratic nature of Indian politics? Second question is define political parties and coalitions. So you have to give the definitions of both of them separately. 5 marks each है इसके. So do attempt the homework. आज homework जरूर attempt करना. Very easy, homework. ये बहुत easy and very, speedily you can complete this homework. Each question will take only 5 minutes to answer. हर क्वेश्चन सिर्फ 5 मिनट में सॉल्व हो जाएगा. सो देयर कैन नॉट बी एनी एक्सक्यूज दैट दिस वाज द रीजन व्हाई आई डिडंट कंप्लीट द होमवर्क और दैट वाज द रीजन. तो इसमें आपका ना इस रीजन नहीं आएगा. ये पॉइंट याद रखिएगा. कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं चलेगा कि होमवर्क इसलिए नहीं हुआ उसलिए नहीं हुआ. तो दिस वाज द एंटायर चैप्टर 2 दैट वी स्टडीड टुडे. आई होप यू एंजॉयड दिस लेक्चर. उम्मीद करती हूँ आपको ये लेक्चर अच्छा लगा होगा आज का. एंड आई होप दैट यू हैव सॉल्व्ड द PYQs दैट वी हैव सॉल्व्ड इन द लेक्चर. ये हमने कुछ PYQs सॉल्व किए थे, तो इसको भी अच्छे से रिवाइज कर लीजिएगा. ओके, सो दिस वाज ऑल फॉर टुडे.